So today we'll discuss first of all my greatest Olympic prize by Jesse Owens. Till now we have completed half of the story, and what we have discovered that's a true and honest friendship between Lars Long and Jesse Owens. In his first few attempts, Jesse Owens proved to be a failure. He established a world record when he was a student in Ohio University. But after coming here to Germany, his performance received a drastic change. That same Lars Long, that same Jesse Owens is missing in this very ground of Berlin. One reason may be the discriminative nature of Adolf Hitler that took off his confidence level. Secondarily, you can think that after coming to Germany, he experienced a better and a superior competition. And out of that tension also, he might have committed such mistake. But mistakes are committed to be rectified. And Jesse Owens is such kind of athlete. His meeting with Lars Long boosted up his confidence level. Something was eating him from inside. And Lars Long, who himself studied in the German methodological school, who also studied German supremacy theory, Aryan supremacy theory, did not have any faith in those things. And he raised the hands of friendship. And that was well accepted by Jesse Owens. Lars Long played a very vital role in his life. In this very Olympic event, he won 4 gold medals. And he was famous for long jump or broad jump. As we saw, Lars Long at his very attempt, the first attempt, was jumping more than 8 feet. And that did not break up the determination of Jesse Owens. And how beautiful the friendship is. Both belong to the same sphere of game. Both are sportsmen. Both are champions in their field. And yet there is no jealousy. There is no egoism. Instead, the friendship remove all the geographical, sentimental, economical as well as racial boundaries. So this is a story not only about a gold medal but about a 24-carat friendship. So we completed in the second page. We finished last in the second page. So we'll start from that very part where we concluded. I recommend you to go through the entire video. And if you find any doubt, do let me know. I'll surely solve your doubt. You can ask me question via WhatsApp or in the comment section. So here you go. We'll start the third part of this very story.
Look, he said, why don't you draw a line a few inches in back of the boat and aim at making your takeoff from there? He said means Lars Long said. Why don't you draw a line a few inches in back of the boat? Back of the boat means boat stands for the starting point. And aim at making your takeoff from there. Here, takeoff stands for jump. So, instead of starting his jump exactly from the line, he should draw a line few inches before that takeoff line, and then he should jump in order to avoid foul. Because already we have seen he has committed 2 fouls. You will be sure not to foul, and you certainly ought to jump far enough to qualify. What does it matter if you are not fast in trials? Tomorrow is what counts. Tomorrow, that means real event. So, what is the need to be fast in the practice or in the test? Let him be the fast in the field the next day. How selfless Lars Long is, we have got here. A beautiful human being with a golden heart. Suddenly, all the tension seemed to ebb out of my body. Ebb out stand for released. As the truth of what he said hit me. Here, hit me means touched. Confidently, I drew a line a full foot in the back of the boat and proceeded to jump from there. I qualified with almost a foot to spare. So he drew the line almost 1 feet before the takeoff line, and the result was very satisfying. He got qualified, and he jumped more 1 feet more than the normal standpoint or the more normal limit. That night I walked over to Lars Long's room in the Olympic Village. Olympic Village means during this particular game of Olympic, a certain area is built up where all the athletes live. They have food as well as their practice sessions in that particular village. I drew a line a full foot in back of the board and proceeded to jump from there. I qualified with almost a foot to spare. That night I walked over to Lars Long's room in the Olympic Village to thank him. I knew that if it had not been for him, I probably would not be jumping in the finals the following day. Very nicely written this sentence. Construction you should know. I knew that, okay, if it had not been for him, here it means the procedure was not had not been for him, I probably would not be jumping in the finals. That means he would get disqualified. The following day, we sat in his quarters and talked for 2 hours about track and fields and ourselves, the world situation, and dozen other things. They talked about the world situation, the present political situation all around the world, because just before the First World War got completed in 1918. So they talked of that one, the political disorder in different countries, everything was talked of. This is the period of imperialism. So each country, these Western countries, they have plenty of things to talk about. When I finally got up to leave, we both knew that a real friendship had been formed. When their conversation was done, they understood a pure friendship is done. Lars would go out to the field the next day trying to beat me if he could. But he knew that he wanted me to be my best, even if that meant my winning. So, this is the most important part of the story. Both were real sportsmen. They are obviously enemy to each other in the field, but not outside of the field. That is real sportsmanship. They are giving their 100% for their country, for their own self in the field. But when they are out of field, they are as just like you and me, a normal, a common human being. As it turned out, Lars broke his own past record. He jumped more than what he did. In doing so, he pushed me on to peak performance. Peak performance is the best performance. So, Jesse Owen had to give his best performance to beat Lars Long. I remember that at the instant I landed from my final jump, that one which set the Olympic record of 26 feet 5.5 by 16 inches. He was at my side, congratulating me. So there was no sadness in Lars Long that he could not be the first. He was really happy in finding his friend got the first rank, despite the fact that Hitler glared at us from the stands. Hitler was not at all happy finding his candidate did not get the first rank. He was looking at both of them, stands not 100 years away. Laj shook my hand hard, and it was not a fake smile with a broken heart, sort of grief either. Basically, the sportsmen, when get defeated, they feel heartbroken, and as formality they shake hand. But last long was not like that. He shook hand with Jesse Owen the way a friend shakes hand with another friend. So this is a very, or it is of great attention and importance that we can see that the purity of their friendship, they are celebrating each other's triumph. So it is not about winning the gold medal, it is about winning the medal of pure friendship. They are really true friends. Here does not the story end, we have one more paragraph left, and we'll complete that one in next video along with description of the entire story. We'll make a valid analysis and synopsis of the entire story. Thank you.